Hello YouTube, my name is Courtney and welcome to my channel, Courtney and Books. I have for you today another book feature, and this is something that happens when I've read a book that is so good that I just need to gush about it. And today I am talking about an alien romance book. Finally, after a long time of branching out to other romance genres and other romance subgenres, I am returning to my alien-loving roots. If you don't already know, aliens are my jam when it comes to romance. I 100% blame my obsession with Mass Effect first and foremost. And if you are a gamer, you already know what Mass Effect is. If you are not a gamer, it is a video game series that started back in 2007. It is an RPG following Commander Shepard, aka you as the player. You can choose to be a woman or a man. You can choose how you look and what your background is, but no matter what, you play a hero who is set out to save the galaxy. Throughout the three games, you are fighting increasingly severe threats on the galaxy, and while you're doing that on your adventures, you are meeting new people, and a lot of those people are aliens. In each game, you also have the option to pursue relationships, and these relationships can be with humans or not humans. And the games make the aliens so much more appealing than the humans, I swear to God. BioWare, I know what you're doing. Anyways, in each game you have the option to romance or pursue relationships with other characters, and I love my angsty boys, so I of course went for the angsty alien assassin Thane Krios. He was an assassin looking for redemption and love and support, and I was going to love and support him, damn it. Their story actually ends very tragically in game number 3, and I found myself bawling my eyes out, but I would not trade our relationship for anything. I know Guerre is the more safe choice when it comes to romancing aliens in these video games. He is adorable, everybody loves him, he's the most popular relationship that people pursue when they play these video games, but I just can't. I love Thane, I love his darkness, I love his struggles. I also played Mass Effect Andromeda, which is a spin-off of the original Mass Effect trilogy. It's set in a neighboring galaxy, aka the Andromeda Galaxy, which is a real galaxy. It is the closest galaxy to our own in the universe. And it takes place 600 and something years later when humans have tried to move on to colonize a different galaxy. And I romance the adorable Angaran Jal, who goes down on you under a waterfall, and it's kind of a big thing. I'm pretty sure that was the first Mass Effect game to ever show boobies, and I was pretty surprised by that, but not complaining. Anyways, I played these games long before I was obsessed with romance books, so you can imagine my delight when I figured out that alien romance was a very big and very popular genre in the romance world. So I binged so many alien romance books non-stop for like a year, and I could not get enough of them. There's a lot of them out there and I eat them up like candy. Getting back on track, after reading dozens and dozens and possibly hundreds of alien romance books, I noticed that there is a very repetitive trait or very repetitive plot, and that is a shortage of females, fated mates, which drives some sexy alien to abduct human women for breeding. While I still kind of eat that stuff up today, I did start getting kind of burnt out on that kind of plot. So in my more experienced reading years, I've become very picky when it comes to my alien romance. Which brings me to today's topic, the actual video and the reason for me making this today. And that is the series by Heather Guerre. I don't know. I've never read any of Heather's books before, but somebody I follow on Instagram posted something about the first book in her Fated Mate series, or Forbidden Mate series, and mentioned a chase scene. And if you don't know this already about me, I love a good chase scene, especially when it ends in a very steamy way. So because I am a sucker for aliens and I am a sucker for chase scenes, I went straight to Amazon and I checked out the book. Oh my God, I was hooked from page 1. Heather built an amazing world in which humans are very well established in the galaxy. They inhabit multiple planets. There is a language called the Creole, or I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's called the Creole, and it is basically a universal language which makes sense because you would need something like that for diplomacy reasons if you are in the galaxy meeting all these new species and from all these different worlds. So almost everybody in the galaxy speaks this one language, but also maintains their own languages from their own worlds or their own planets or their own races or whatever. And this eliminates one of my pet peeves when it comes to alien romance books, and that is the magical translator. And just so I don't sound too rude here, any author that does use a translator in their books, I'm not completely trashing them. I've read a lot of books that I really enjoy that do involve translators, and I understand the use of them because it kind of eliminates the language gap if that's not the true focus of the relationship that you want. I understand that you just want to get that out of the way. So I'm not like saying it's a bad thing or anything, but because I read so many alien romance books, I've just sort of gotten past the translator concept, and I want something more creative, and I really liked the concept of a universal language. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, getting back on topic, despite humans being very well established in the galaxy and having the means to travel throughout space and to colonize other planets, there are a lot of species yet undiscovered. One of them being scavens. Scavens? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that is how my brain interpreted it. It is a race of all-male aliens who are obviously very attractive. They're very large, they're very fit, because when are hunky aliens not very large and very fit and very attractive? They are able to mate with pretty much any alien species, but any of their offspring are born Skaven. Much like the Asari in the Mass Effect series, which is an all-female race of aliens that can mate with pretty much any alien race, but all offspring are born female and they are all born Asari. Not to diminish the originality of this book or any other alien romance book, it's just that I am such a huge fan of Mass Effect that I can basically trace anything in an alien book or a sci-fi book back to Mass Effect. I mean, I have it tattooed on my body. Of course, I'm thinking about it 24/7. So I can make connections from pretty much any sci-fi or alien book or concept, including some things from my own books. I will not lie. I've taken a lot of inspiration from a lot of previously created science fiction worlds, including Mass Effect. I love alien stuff. Anyways, our Skavens have something very special at their disposal to help them breed. Anyways, our Skavens have something very special at their disposal that helps them breed with all kinds of different aliens, and that is magical spit that has an aphrodisiacal, is that a word? Has an aphrodisiacal effect on whoever ingests it. And it just so happens that humans are particularly sensitive to the effects of their bodily fluids. They're very receptive, and therefore they don't just get turned on, they get basically high and delirious and extremely horny, to the point of not being able to control their actions or their cravings, which makes them very easy to control. This is sounding way weirder when I say it than it sounds when Heather explains it in her books. Heather has a way of writing this really weird concept and making it sound really sexy. I mean, I was really hot and bothered when one of these aliens licked his thumb and stuck it in the heroine's mouth. Oh my god, I'm making it sound worse. In book 1, our main girl, Lyra, is the kind of girl that can really take care of herself. She's tall, she's fit, she is a survivor. But even that didn't prevent her and a bunch of other women from being captured and taken by the Skavens. I feel like I'm absolutely butchering the name of this alien race. It feels weird on my tongue. Skavens. Anyways, she and a bunch of other women get captured by these Skaven traffickers who are looking to sell them off at auctions as breeders to their own people. See, not only do humans have an adverse reaction to this alien race's spit and other bodily fluids, but the mere scent of a human woman literally drives them crazy with lust. So get 2 of them in a room together and they are basically donezo. They will be screwing for days. Literally. While Lyra and a bunch of other women are on this ship waiting to go to auction, our man Asir is waiting to strike. Asir is an enforcer, which is basically a Skaven form of police, and he works very hard, or has dedicated his life to breaking up these trafficking rings, because taking humans and selling them to be breeders against their will is against their laws. But being an enforcer also means that he cannot take a human mate. Because of the way that these races react to each other, any sexual relations that he might have with a human would be considered dubious consent no matter what, or sex under the influence. These guys are literally a walking date rape drug. So when the Skaven ship lands on an uninhabited planet, our man Azir is watching and waiting only to see one of these human women escape off the ship and dart into the wilderness. Because he is alone, he is unable to make a move on the entire ship itself, so he decides to dart into the wilderness after her in order to help her. But obviously he looks like all the other Skavens even though he is a good guy, and so she runs her little ass off to get away from him, and he thinks it is so hot that she can run like hell and he can barely keep up with her, and it takes him a while to catch her. And because he is such a big strong alien and she is this tiny fragile human, even though in human standards she is very tall and very fit, to him she is very small and fragile. So he's very impressed by this, and you know, it is the beginning of their attraction towards each other that is not influenced by all these weird chemical reactions that they have when they are in a close proximity. By the time he catches her, he explains who he is and what his job is, and she eventually decides to let him help her. So for a good long while, they are traipsing through the wilderness on this very hostile planet and depending on each other to survive. They're dodging big spiders, they're dodging worms that come out of the ground to eat you, and a number of other things. And all the while, our man Aesir is trying his very best not to be insanely overwhelmed with this woman's human female scent, because he is a man of honor. So we've got a chase, and we've got sort of a subplot in the first half of the book of survival romance, which I love. But on top of that, our man has sworn never to touch a human. He is barely holding it together while he has to smell this woman through this entire ordeal. I'm pretty sure at some point he resorts to covering his face in order to not catch her scent, and that sort of helps him keep his wits about him, but it hardly works. What I loved about this book is the sexual tension that kind of built up between these two. Throughout their journey, the fact that Lyra became more and more attracted to him without the influence of magical spits just made it so much fun to read. Jump forward a bit when these two inevitably cannot resist each other's charms, and our main man Aesir says screw the rules and gives in to Lyra's advances. They end up boning each other's brains out for so long that Lyra almost dies, which is the only way that Aesir is knocked out of a sexual stupor. He frantically tries to take care of her, realizing she's severely dehydrated, needs food, needs sleep, because he nearly banged her to death. No more bodily fluids for this girl, geez, get her a Gatorade and a protein bar, for the love of God. Now you might be thinking that after days of banging each other, how is she not pregnant? Well, that is something that is kind of complicated in this story, and I'm not going to get into it for the sake of spoilers, because I think you should just read this book. I highly recommend this book, and in fact, I highly recommend the entire series because they just get better as they go. In book 3, we have a dragon man who is so adorable and so terrifying, and I just want him. Heather did such an amazing job of world building, in my opinion. It's very obvious that she knows a lot about the subject she writes about because it's all extremely believable and extremely immersive. And like I said, I'm always on the lookout for unique alien romances. When I find them, I love them, and I love these books. I hope you pick them up. If you do, tell me what you think. If you have suggestions for other alien romance books, put them in the comments. I always need them. Like this video, share this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I am trying to get to 600 subscribers on this channel, and unlike everything else that I think I need to do alone, I cannot do this without you guys. Also check out my books on Kindle Unlimited if you also enjoy alien romance. Every page you read helps me out, and profits go towards the channel and towards my indie author journey. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, happy reading. Bye!